That fucking Ticketmaster. I know. Yeah, so just... Alright, and...
Okay.
Sweet. So I think we're good. Yeah, make them crazy noises. We're on TV.
I stole that from that OSW reviewed thing. You
Oh,
guys are way
fantastic.
funnier than I am.
That is true.
And they're Irish, so it sounds classier.
That's true. They are definitely more charming than we are. We're like weird.
OSWreview.com. Are we like supposed to tell people to do other stuff instead of listening to us?
Sure. Why not? So, as you folks can see, we're about to play Toy Soldiers, and we're going to be talking about Money in the Bank. That happened this past Sunday. Before...
And I will be intermittently complaining about this Ticketmaster lawsuit thing. Because I want considerably better tickets than I'm being given the option of getting.
Yeah. Then we get it. Ticketmaster is terrible.
So
before we...
I think maybe if we do like another
damn
class
it.
action lawsuit, we have to be more specific.
Probably.
Like, yeah, we demand reparations, but like we don't want to go see Steely Dan.
Reparations? This motherfucker used the
From-
word reparations?
From the slavery of high service charges?
From the slavery of what? Oh, no. You could have said anything. You had to use the word reparations.
And slavery.
You could have said reimbursement.
I mean, that was probably the word I was looking for, but
Yeah,
said
but
reparations came out.
chose reparations, and I don't know why you're saying the word slavery over and over again. that just seems irrelevant. Now you're just trying to ruffle feathers.
It's like, do I invite you or I'm inviting you?
Let's see. Oh, okay, fair enough. I'm gonna be Cobra. Ow. I think there's a wasp up here that's just stinging me over and over again. Prick, I'm gonna find him.
Yeah, and then you'll free yourself from the slavery of being stung.
Oh, for God's sake, Eric. Hey, Tim, why don't you have any viewers? Oh, I don't know. I think it's because my brother keeps talking about fucking slavery. Oh, man. Alright, let me get this thing out. A week ago, me and Eric lost a very, very, very good friend to us. And we just wanted to dedicate this cast to him. We were hoping that more people would actually be present for it, but for various reasons this was inconvenient. Probably because it's in the middle of a week at 1 in the morning, so... So anyway, Danny, this entire cast is for you, and Eric, if you want to just take a moment of silence, and then we'll get into Toy Soldiers and Money in the Bank. Alright then, so you said that you were going to be inviting me. Let me see if they have the weekly war updated yet. Nope, they have given up on this game.
Yeah, they really just absolutely abandoned this game, which is
Yep.
a shame because it was pretty fun.
It was a fucking fun game. Alright, let's see. Invite friend.
So you never got my invite?
No, you know, keep in mind, I'm still on this, oh, sorry. I'm still on this fucking dashboard preview thing. There's a lot of stuff that's still jacked up. I can join through you, so... Yeah, there we go. We're good. Oh, shit. Look at us. That seems like a thing that shouldn't be happening. Let's coexist for just one day. What's up?
Have we already done the co-op campaign, or I don't remember?
I think we started to. You can go into the list and check. Even if not, we could just start from the beginning. I don't really care. Like whatever, so we'll just kick its ass again.
Yeah, so looks like it's gonna make us start over, so.
Ah, well. So, Money in the Bank. Overall, what did you think of the show?
It was kind of all over the place. There were some things I enjoyed, some things that could have been a great deal shorter and would have been more enjoyable.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's the best way to say it. It really did jump around. Like some of it was awesome, and then most of it was, I don't know. It was a bizarre show. They picked an odd venue that the acoustics are not great, which is very strange because it's a new place. They kept saying that it's a new venue that opened right off the Vegas Strip, and for some reason, like, the crowd is cheering and you can't hear a fucking thing. So nobody had any idea if they were over or not, because they're like, are the people saying anything? I can't even tell. I could hear during AJ's match, which was probably one of the loudest matches of the night. There's certain points where AJ is like talking in the ring, and you can just clearly hear everything he's saying. Like if the acoustics were better, that probably would not be happening. We'd see him like moving his mouth, but like, what? I can't hear what he's saying.
You're in this, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me make sure.
Set up my anti-infantry. Alright, so the very first match was Enzo and Cass, the Vaudevillains, the Club, and the New Day. And, well, the first thing that I wanted to talk about was that jacket that Enzo came out in. If you remember, it was weird looking and colorful and shit, and the announcers made some weird comments about it. I mean, basically, just looking at the jacket, it looks like something that someone would need to snort a mountain of cocaine to want to wear it. And it makes sense.
Kind of like Enzo's character.
Yeah.
It's just someone that's like fresh from a mound of snow there.
And which is interesting because it definitely looked like some gear that Shawn Michaels used to wear. And that's why I don't know why the announcers are like, what is he wearing, when, I mean, you know, somebody else used to wear the exact same type of shit. But, you know, if that's what they want to focus on. There was also, Cass Enzo claiming that he had sexual intercourse with Lady Luck, if you remember that.
Yeah.
I don't understand what that was about. Was there something that you wanted to say?
He probably should have done that a little sooner then.
Yeah.
Wasn't so lucky a few months ago.
Too soon, Eric.
He's fine. I'm a big fan of the guy and everything, but yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they came out.
Sucked, but
they were intensely over when they came out tonight, and even with the bad acoustics in the house, you could tell that the crowd is fucking really hot on those guys, and they're gonna be in good shape.
On the other side of the coin, we have the Bullet Club there that everyone's like, oh man, they need to sign these guys, I can't wait to see them, and it seems like no one cares. Like, they haven't, I mean, I don't know how you feel about them. I haven't been especially entertained by anything they've done in ring. Like,
well,
the match is kind of blah. Like, I was never the biggest fan of either of them. I think Carl Anderson is definitely the better of the two.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I like Carl Anderson. He seems like he has talent, but you know, Luke Gallows is just another big guy. That was basically the reason that they hired him, because he was a big guy and they needed someone with that kind of look, I guess.
I feel like he's coasting off of the fact that he had a good match with The Undertaker like 10 years ago.
I don't know about that, because
like
I mean, they
still doing the Festus thing.
Yeah, they don't acknowledge that he was a fucking retard once, so...
No, of course not, but...
What else? Oh, the Vaudevillains finally got a reaction out of the crowd, finally.
Oh yeah, because that was just terrifying for a couple of weeks there.
I mean,
it's like, and the Vaudevillains!
Yeah. The cricket noises. I can't really tell if, I mean, you know, because of course the reaction that they're getting is negative. I can't really figure out if they're getting that negative reaction because they're heels and, like, you know, it's obvious, or if the crowd is just fucking tired of them already. Like, what is this? This is fucking stupid. I don't get it. What are they, stars in the silent movie era, but then they, like, talk and shit? That, like, I don't get it.
But, I still feel that they should have always had subtitled promos, like just see them moving their mouths and just have like cut to another card that has everything they were gonna say.
You know, the thing I really don't get, I can't remember if it was that way in NXT, but when they come out, they got the guy come out with the fucking bullhorn or whatever, and he announces them. Well,
he doesn't really come out; he's just on the screen.
Yeah, no, I mean, on the screen, he comes out from behind a curtain and he announces them and then walks back behind the curtain on the screen. But that video is in color and, like, fucking completely high definition. And, I mean...
Yeah.
You know, maybe it's a little too much work to make things not high definition, but... why make it in color? It's really easy to apply a black and white filter to something like that. Because they didn't have color in the silent movie era. They didn't have sound in the silent movie era. Why the fuck would they have color? Let's see. And then I'm sure you remember, I mean, you know, of course the Bullet Club came out and it was just like whatever, like, oh wow, look, it's the club. And okay, so anyway, here are these guys, and then they had the Vaudevillains come out. Then the New Day came out, and I'm sure you remember what happened when they showed up.
Powerful over.
Powerful over, and the jokes and the laughs. They had the entire arena laughing so hard that it just sounded like a fucking sitcom. They're telling, like, Wookiee jokes about Cass, and like, I've never heard a crowd laugh like that, except for when fucking Austin started his whole what thing. Which was only funny at the time because we didn't know what the hell was going on. Like, is he fucking drunk? What's he doing?
The answer was possibly.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. How do you feel about the fucking the Vaudevillains? Like, are they ready for that spotlight? You know, it seems like spotlight. It seems like they only got it because of Enzo's injury. I mean, I'm pretty sure you know that Enzo and Cass were supposed to win that tournament. There's just no two ways about it because nobody knew who the Vaudevillains were, and Enzo and Cass were already a little bit established here. People, you know, they were popular enough that people were like, I really want these motherfuckers to win. So,
yeah, I mean, from the first time they showed up on the main roster, like, they had a good reaction.
Yeah.
But
so, Enzo gets hurt.
As far as
walk ahead.
I was gonna say, as far as them being ready or whatever, I mean, talent-wise, yeah, I suppose so. I don't know if the gimmick is helping them in any way, as it's supposed to be, but...
You know, what's really tough about this company is that talent is not all you need to get over.
Well, of course.
That's a hard reality that some people need to learn. And it sucks, I'll give you that, but you kind of need to be a complete package to be able to make it like that. And for the people that aren't, it's just not going to work. And I think they're both very good in the ring, but as far as if they're gonna make it all together, you know, who knows how long they'll be around.
Something might have to change. The gimmick's a little silly. I feel like things like that, that can work in NXT, don't necessarily translate to the main roster.
Never. Well, let me not say never, because when Sammy was climbing the ladder and there's nobody around him, people were going fucking nuts. They were really excited for him to get that win. So at the start of this this tag match, it's pretty instantly apparent that both Enzo and Cass have really improved since like their early NXT days. I mean,
oh yeah,
you know, Cass was around a long time before Enzo showed up, and he sucked. I'm not sure when Enzo started showing up, but from like his early wrestling career, because we saw his NXT, you know, wrestling debut, and he wasn't bad, but there was like nothing stand out about him, and his wrestling skill was a little weak at the time. But tonight, because I rewatched it tonight, for Money in the Bank, everything that he was doing looked very clean, and he was doing a lot of athletic stuff that you wouldn't really have seen from him early in his NXT career. So, I think it would be stupid to really ever split them up. But if it does happen, I think they would both be okay. I really do. Where's this other fucking tank?
it kind of reminds me of like a story I heard. I think like I forget which one was telling it, but you know, they were talking about like when they split like Scott Hall and Kevin Nash and had them feud with each other.
Yeah.
They said like it was kind of like the people didn't buy it because it's like, oh come on man, you guys are buddies, just patch it up man. It doesn't have to be like this. And like they don't really like get invested into the feud because it's like the guys are just too like ingrained in each other. You know what I mean? And I feel like it would be like that kind of thing. Like I mean like, you know, no one wants to see Cass beating up Enzo. Like whether it's, you know, whoever would be the bad guy in that. It's just like it would just feel weird. Like, you know, watching like two of your best friends fight, that you just want to be like, guys, come on, man.
I'm sorry.
Stop your shit.
Did you say whoever would be the heel in that instance? You're picturing Cass beating the shit out of Enzo, who he has like fucking 3 head fucking heights on, and who's the heel in that one?
They've done it before. Every now and then there are feuds where the smaller guy is the heel. I hate it always because just visually it's like it doesn't really look like he's the bad guy right now.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they do like they had like Hulk Hogan feuding with Kidman, and you know Kidman was the bad guy. They had Kane and X-Pac, where X-Pac's the bad guy.
That is true.
And it's like in all of them, it's like I say, it just looks weird to be like, yeah, this is the big guy, the guy that's beating up someone he has 150 pounds on.
Yeah, in fairness though, I mean, I don't really know anything about the Hogan and Kidman, but at least for X-Pac and Kane was the fucking like the monster who like finally found someone that he could accept as one of his own, and he had his heart broken. X-Pac is just this fucking like ferocious little monster that's kicking the shit out of him. He's like, but wait, I love you. He's like, shut the fuck up. So, yeah, so I guess I could see something like that out of them. Good point on that one. Yeah, no, so Enzo and Cass got a lot better in the ring, and
oh yeah, definitely.
You know, I wrote here that the Vaudevillains were like wrestling their asses off in this match. I don't know that they have like really improved though. I remember them always being pretty solid in the ring.
Yeah.
A little rookie mistakes here and there, but for the most part, they like on the wrestling front, they've been ready for a while.
Yeah.
I just hope that they eventually can get over here. I
Like I
think
said,
they
they
got
might have to
over.
shake that gimmick off and do something else.
I think they could get that gimmick over just fine in NXT. They have. They did. But here, I don't know that it's going to work. But, wrestling, I want to remind you that me and you were at NXT Brooklyn last year. And they had not the match of the night. Because you remember that...
Yeah, that was a rough show to have anything they could call the match in.
Yeah,
was awesome,
that was the same one with Bayley and Sasha Banks, so kind of hard to top some shit like that. But they had an excellent.
I guess that's probably your answer though.
Yeah, they had an excellent tag match against the Dubstep Twins back there, who, keep in mind you're not really keen on anyway. You thought they were a little bland, so. You have to say that the Vaudevillains probably carried them to a good match. Even though I say there's more than you see as far as the Dubstep Twins go, but they have been a little boring. Like the last few times I saw them wrestling tag style, it wasn't my favorite thing ever. But the Vaudevillains brought them to a good match. I think that they seem to be lining Cass up for a big push, and if they do it, it's gonna work. Because his promos are a little weird. Like, I don't know why he always talks like this, but people seem to think that he's charming, and like I said, he's gotten a lot better in the ring. I especially enjoy his style for his size. Because he's a big dude, but he can be pretty quick, and he throws some fucking ferocious boots, which I love. And so it's working, and he may be in the main event spot within the next 2 years, probably. Maybe a little longer if they're having trouble with the Enzo split. If they don't bother to do it, then probably within 2 years, I think he'll be fine. Just as long as they don't try to focus too much on his tag team picture. You caught during this match when, what the hell, Enzo was in some kind of submission holder. He was about to get rolled up or something, and Kofi went for a Trouble in Paradise, and Enzo just sort of fell over. It seemed to be Enzo's fault, but it was just weird looking because fucking Enzo falls over, and then Kofi goes for the Trouble in Paradise.
No, because I think Enzo was being pinned, right?
It was like I said, it was a weird situation. I don't really remember.
I believe it was Enzo was being pinned, and it was one of the Vaudevillains had him rolled up, I think. Like did the prawn hold, and then they were just there a little bit too long that Enzo had to kick out. But he had to kick out before Kofi got in with the kick, so.
Yeah, and then Kofi got into the ring, and he was mad, and he kicked Enzo in the stomach or whatever, but. Shortly after that, the Vaudevillains did the whirly dervish, and they almost got a win off of that. They gotta come up with a better finisher, man. It's not fucking 1940. You can't do like fucking spinning neck breakers as your finish anymore. Shortly after that,
what was kind of noteworthy about that is they've been on the main roster for like 2 months, and now someone's kicked out of their finish. I mean, that's not a great distinction right there.
Fuck, I can't get my rockets past this lip here, and all these horses are gonna get by. Shortly after that, Big E did his fucking spear through the ropes that I hate so much because he's going to break his neck on that thing one day. What the hell? I can't.
It's so cool looking, but it is scary as hell.
It is really cool looking, but man, you could say that shit again. It is fucking scary looking.
Wait a minute.
Oh shit, the Pegasus is up, and I'm not even using it. Let's see. I'm sure you caught like the actual finish of that match when it's a very confusing situation when I think Carl Anderson was pinning one of the Vaudevillains following their weird finisher, because I guess weird finishers are like the in thing this year. He was going for the pin, and fucking Biggie came into the ring and deadlifted him for the big ending.
Right.
While Gallows was in the ring watching it all unfold, and instead of actually getting involved, he just sort of stood there flapping his arms around like a fucking angry bird until Cass ran over.
Cass. Yeah.
Yeah, no. It was
Yeah, that's right. Cass booted him out finally,
Cass
right?
face fucked him right over the top rope. But in the meantime, Gallows is just standing there fucking waving his arms around. But like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you're gonna want to go get involved in that. Our toy box is under attack. Are you, did anybody get through, or?
Oh, there's someone like right by the door. I don't know how they got there, but they're right there.
I don't see anybody.
They might be gone now.
Here's another thing I caught on the second viewing. After the New Day retained the title, did you notice that that Kofi took his tag belt and put it around fucking like, he basically wore it like the fucking like the Chewbacca ammo belt. I guess just another fucking another knock against Big Cass for looking like a giant Wookiee. How are you doing? Let's see.
Chewbacca next up, Kofi action figure coming soon.
Oh yeah. Next up was the promo with Kevin Owens, and fucking where Del Rio and Jericho showed up. Man, even Jericho is not like funny to listen to anymore. He's just, I think I'm just good on Jericho. Like he should kind of just hang it up and let everything that he has done in his past speak for like what his career is. He's got a terrible band. He should go tour with them, but he's not particularly interesting to listen to talk anymore, and that's not including his podcast, which was never interesting. He's not really much to watch in the ring anymore. But anyway, this was.
Yeah, it's gonna take me a long time to get over that. It's gonna take me a while to get over that Dean Ambrose match.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's jeez. I think we started a boring chant in the arena. It was just unavoidable. That entire fucking match. I mean, the match type itself was just like, what is this shit? It just wasn't good.
It's bad when you're borrowing ideas from TNA.
Yeah. Ugh. But yeah, so on the other side of the coin, you know, the complete opposite of Jericho is Kevin Owens, who is an outstanding wrestler and just so incredible on the microphone. And like, do you remember how funny he was during this fucking promo?
Yeah.
When like
he was definitely.
He was awesome. The announcer says like, this is gonna be your first Money in the Bank. He's like, Money in the Bank what? Money in the Bank pay-per-view or Money in the Bank match? Because if you remember, I was in last year's Money in the Bank pay-per-view. I've just never been in a Money in the Bank match. He's like, I just want you to clarify that for our fans. And he's just fucking ripping him apart for making this mistake. He's like, you remember how I powerbombed Cena last year at Money in the Bank? Of course you do. He goes, everything I do is so memorable. I'm a very special person. That's what my mother tells me all the time. And then Jericho shows up and he's not interesting. And then Del Rio shows up and he starts calling everybody perro. And Owens rips into him for that. He's like, oh, that means dog, right? And fucking Jericho's like, oh, you know Spanish now? He's like, no, I just looked up that word because he says it to everybody. Oh shit, I have to put up anti-air support. Uh,
I
what's
didn't know we were doing that just yet.
Yeah, no, they definitely got stuff up there. Oh shit, I could get on the Pegasus for now, and if you have money, do you want to try and upgrade the air support that I just put up? I don't know if you even can. I don't know if you have the upgrades for that.
Which one is it?
It's the one to the right side of the gate. Let's see, so yeah, so after that whole thing was
The
Baron
Stinger?
Corbin. Yeah, that sounds right. Oh god, I got a invert flying. Oh shit. We got a bunch of stuff about to break through. Fucking shoot him! Damn it. Stuff got through.
Yeah, it did.
So yeah, so after that promo was Baron Corbin and Dolph Ziggler. Oof. Yeah, I know.
This isn't doing anyone any good. You know, I liked Corbin, but this is just it's not helping him. It's certainly not helping Dolph.
Yeah, I don't know where exactly they're trying to go at this point, because that whole feud does not have a purpose. But I mean, you said that you liked Corbin. Are you still cool with Corbin, or like what's your feelings on him now?
I still see a lot of potential in him. He just needs to be doing something else.
Yeah. Because my big thing right now is Dolph seemed not interested in this feud. I'm thinking that he's probably realizing that he already peaked, you know? We were in the arena when he peaked, and it doesn't seem like he's ever going to get a chance like that again. He's going to be a jobber until he gets released, like probably by the end of this year. I'm calling it. I think he's probably going to get released by the end of the year. He did not care about this feud, and because of that, it just made for such a fucking like dry match. And you say Corbin has potential, and I could agree with you, but potential is not like he has the talent right now, because right now he seemed kind of clueless about what to do without Dolph's help.
I just don't think he gels at all with Dolph, and unfortunately it was like a 3 or 4 month feud.
Yeah. It is true, they do have very, very different styles that just don't really combine together. Every time I see Corbin, though, I cannot help but look at that fucking stomach face that you pointed out.
Oh yeah, he got punched in the stomach face when he was up on the top rope.
If you guys have not noticed, whenever you look at Corbin, you just look at his midsection, and he has this weird fold in his abs. And his fucking nipples and this fold in his abs, just like they form a face whenever you look at him. And Botchamania has already fucking posted a picture to make it more obvious, but they didn't have to make it too much more obvious. It was pretty fucking easy to see from the start. Oh man. Corbin with that fucking stupid get thrown out of the ring and then slide back in and do a clothesline spot. I don't know what the hell it's about.
Yeah, and then he did again on Raw, so I guess that's gonna be his new thing.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like it seems if you're getting thrown towards the turnbuckle, you have a couple of options. I mean, like if you slide out of the ring and then back in, you're gonna lose your momentum anyway. So if you're gonna lose your momentum, I don't know. Put your boot on the turnbuckle and then turn around and clothesline them. Or change your direction and run the ropes and come back with a clothesline. Why the hell run outside the ring and then slide back in?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, the main problem with it is just, it's supposed to be like, he uses that element of surprise to roll back in and do the clothesline, but it's like, the guy's fucking watching him the whole time, like... It's like, hey, where you going? I guess I better stand here and hang out, see where this is going. I mean, like, doing it once or twice is one thing, but if he starts doing this as a regular thing, it's just gonna look like everyone is missing a chromosome if they keep falling for this.
Yeah.
But then again, if Ambrose can get away with that rope rebound clothesline that everyone's falling for.
You know, he hasn't done that in a while now that you mention it.
Yeah, it does seem like he cut back on. Well, I mean, he couldn't do it in the cage match, really. There's no damn room.
I mean, he could try. Fucking ow! In the middle of this match, the crowd starts chanting boring, and
it was Baron. They were chanting Baron.
They were not chanting Baron, they were chanting boring.
I was saying Boo Earns.
Yeah, sure. Even at one point in the match, fucking, like, Corbin looked like he gave up on the match, because the crowd starts dueling chants. I think they said, let's go Ziggler, and Ziggler sucks. I don't know why anybody chanted Ziggler sucks. Maybe just because he doesn't seem to be trying as hard as he used to when he still felt like he had a chance. But
right.
that was the dueling chant. Let's go Ziggler, and Ziggler sucks. No mention of Corbin. It's not let's go Ziggler, let's go Baron, or let's go Corbin. It's just all about Ziggler. And, you know, at one point, fucking Baron's standing in the ring, and he sticks out his arms like, yeah, everybody look at me, like, I'm great, right? And probably less than a quarter of the crowd actually cared enough to boo at him. So, I don't know. He's got to do something. It might just be this feud, but something with him is not working, and they got to get it figured out. Otherwise, he's not going to make it in that position.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, I do feel like the vast majority of it is just the fact that his first real feud on the main roster was with someone he was not going to work well with. I mean, it would be like if when they brought in Kane, be like, yeah, you'll get to the Undertaker, but first, why don't you feud with Ken Shamrock for a while? Let's see how this goes. Well, you know, where it's like neither guy's bad, but it's like those would not play to either guy's strength, you know?
I'd like to see Ken Shamrock slap around Kane for a little bit.
They probably ran it. It probably happened.
You know what? I'm sure it did. Did you? I'm sure you caught at one point during the match. Fucking Corbin knocks down Ziggler, and then he like lays down to pin him. He lays down on his back, and then he like fucking lays back so far that his shoulders are almost down, and he grabs Ziggler's right wrist and pulls it up towards his own shoulder. I'm just, what the fuck are you doing there?
Yeah, it looked like he forced Ziggler to spoon him.
Yeah, it was very, very strange. I'm not quite sure what he was going for there, and that's not really anything that I've ever seen in wrestling. It's not anything that you could even logic. Like, you got anything on that one? What? Does that make sense?
It kind of looked like he was pulling his shoulder off the mat, so
exactly.
It's weird.
And I think the announcers even said that, like, you're pulling his shoulder up. Then they go outside the ring, and Ziggler is on one side of the ring, and Corbin is on the fucking adjacent side. And Ziggler tried a thing where he ran at him and jumped over the steps and did a dive, and fucking, of course, when he was running over the steps, he actually slipped on the steps. And Corbin managed to catch him, and he gave him a deep six, and it looked like it fucking sucked. But he caught him, and Ziggler didn't die, so that's good. That's good. It's good when Ziggler doesn't die.
You got that.
What's that?
I was gonna ask if you had some air support.
Yeah, I put up the air support, and I upgraded your turret. And yeah, so Ziggler slips on the steps. They get back into the ring and they fuck around with Famousers and different counters and shit until Corbin hits the end of days and pins Ziggler in 13 minutes. Let's see. Charlotte and Dana Brooke beat Natalya and Becky Lynch. Man, that match was a shit show.
I watch it. I don't remember anything about it. I'm sorry because I do like Becky, but
that's pretty much the story of that match. Like, Becky is probably the only. Well, yeah, let me not say the only talented person in that match, because I am very big on Charlotte. And in fact, by the way, Charlotte, if you're watching this, you can marry me. No other man seems to want to, so. What choice do you have?
She's been married. I think she's been married twice.
Ah, fuck! Wait, has been married
now, but...
Yeah, see? So, Charlotte, call me. My number is on my Facebook.
She was married to the good member of the Ascension for a while.
Oh, yeah, he told me about that. The one who fucking went all Roman Polanski or some shit.
That was not with her, and
right. Not with her.
Allegedly, because he beat that charge. So
yeah, well, O.J. Simpson beat his charge too. Yeah, just with this match, I'm getting really tired of the company's fucking just these periodic bursts of trying to make Natalya relevant again, but she's not. I don't know. I mean, I guess it kind of works.
Natalya, you know what it is? She's not terrible by any stretch of the imagination, but she's not in the same league as a lot of the NXT girls, I feel. And again, it's not doing her favors to
be in a match where she's surrounded by NXT girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just she's not incredibly popular, and she's not very good in the ring. It seems like they're only keeping her because she is a member of the Hart family, and they want to be able to use that in feuds periodically.
But now she's evil. Maybe this will be a resurgence for her.
Yeah. Yeah, that match actually got kind of watchable once Becky got into the ring, because Charlotte and Becky actually have really good chemistry together. And Becky and Dana Brooke do okay, but the match just gets unwatchable again once Natalya tags back into the ring and she positions her hands wrong for a double suplex with Becky. I don't know if you caught that, but
I missed that one.
Yeah, I don't really know where her arm was, but she didn't put it around the person that she's trying to suplex. She didn't put it around her neck. I think she just kind of kept her arm down at her side and put her other arm on the fucking person's tights. Just very weird I mean, especially for someone who's has been wrestling for some time. That's just, I don't know. They probably could have chosen a better finish. The finish was that that Natalya is being held up, and Charlotte grabs Becky and throws her into Natalya, and they fucking smash into each other. And then she hits the what the hell does she call her finish?
The natural selection.
Yeah, natural selection. She hits that and gets the pin. And then Natalya kills Becky after the match and just instantly starts looking like she has actually gone to a wrestling school before. Because
Man, you're way too hard on her.
Yeah, maybe I am. After that heel turn, she showed crazy fucking ferocity, and she actually looked like someone whose matches I do want to see. So, will you take that? At least I did say something nice about her. Let that count for something. Sound good?
Yeah. I guess that's as good as it's getting right now.
And then after that match, they did a promo with Ambrose. It was really, really generic. He basically just spit a bunch of fucking common lines and shit like that. I did think it was kind of funny that the announcer asked him if he had any comment on the main event, the world title match. And he goes, "Not really. I'm sure Roman's going to have a good time beating up Seth. Beating up Seth is pretty fun." That shit was kind of funny to me. Let's see. After that was Apollo Crews and Sheamus, which it was a pretty okay match. It didn't get much of a reaction though, even though some pretty cool stuff happened in that match. Did you remember that match, and how'd you feel
Not
about
really.
it? Oh,
I like Apollo a lot, but he was probably called up way too soon. I mean, he had a couple of matches in NXT. His gimmick was he's good at wrestling, and that was about it.
You know,
like, well, they're all kind of supposed to be.
It's kind of what I said.
And like he never really got into the point where he was like in with like the top guys. I mean, like, okay, he had like 2 matches with Balor.
Yeah.
And like a lot of the other stuff I recall was mostly like kind of like mid-card guys.
Yeah. He really did not do much in NXT. Honestly, someone like Balor is probably more deserving of getting moved up. Not on wrestling skill, because you know how I feel about Balor. That I just kind of feel he's like overrated. But he has been there a lot longer and works for the company. is the nicest that I could be about Finn Balor. He's been there a lot longer. He's been their champion a lot longer. If anybody was ready to be moved up, it was probably him. Less Apollo Crews. They're, for some reason, just dead serious about his rocket ride to the top. It just kind of seems like Vince is determined to prove that he's not a racist by crowning a black world champion, any black man, before he dies. But Apollo needs more time. He's great in the ring, but his mic skills are not awesome, and I don't know, I guess just his personality in general is not there yet. But
seems like a lovely guy and all, but they just haven't really expanded on that enough.
Yeah. Hey, I put up a laser on your other fucking normal gun if you want to take that one.
Okay. I'm still trying to kind of improve everything.
Yeah. At one point during this match, Apollo gives Sheamus this crazy, scary looking overhead belly to belly over the top rope. And then fucking Apollo climbs out onto the apron and he does this fucking beautiful moonsault that was like, it wasn't even an Asai moonsault. He didn't
he just
jumped
off the apron.
Yeah, he just jumped straight off the apron. And I mean, like I say, beautiful though. It looked fucking perfect. Sheamus put in an impressive amount of effort. I mean, you know, considering that this is someone who was a world champion within the last, like, 6 months. To lose to someone who's, like, fresh out of NXT is probably a little bit of an ego hit. But he didn't seem to look at it that way. you know, he put a lot of work into this match, and he put in a lot of effort to make sure that it was a good match. And it wasn't the best match, but it was perfectly acceptable.
I think Sheamus is very underrated, even though like I've said to you before, for some reason or another, I'm never excited about a Sheamus match. But especially against, like, you know, guys that'll hit him, basically, he can be awesome.
Yeah, because you don't hit an Irishman unless you're expected to be hit back. And that's when things get really fun, because that's the thing that we've always been a fan of, is like brawly type wrestlers.
Yeah, I mean, he had great stuff with Cesaro and Barrett. He had some really good matches with.
Did he ever try to wrestle Ambrose? No, right? Really at the same place at the same time.
You know what it is? I mean, with Raw and all these pay-per-views and stuff, I'm sure it's happened. I couldn't tell you anything about it, but I'm sure it happened. I mean, he was in a lot of Shield 6-man tags against
Yeah,
them.
that's true. Shit, that's true. I was at a WrestleMania where he was in a 6-man tag with the Shield. You remember that one, right?
Yeah.
Sheamus, Orton, and Show against the Shield, and then they did the whole fucking Big Show murders everybody after the match, and the whole fucking what's my line thing the next night. They actually did Apollo a big favor at Money in the Bank, because if you remember, towards the end of the match, Sheamus gives him a fucking white noise off the second rope, and then they let Apollo Crews kick out of that. And that's a big middle finger to Sheamus's finisher.
I don't know if that's ever been his primary finisher. Like, it's always just kind of like a big 2-count move, from what I remember. I don't remember him beating anyone with it, but it is still a pretty impressive looking move to be taken out of, so
I forgot the brogue kick.
Certainly a vote of confidence.
Yeah. I forgot and thought the white noise was his finisher, the brogue kick. Jeez, the white noise is a fucking much better move for a finisher, though.
Yeah, I always like the Irish Curse, too, the backbreaker he does.
Yeah.
That he may have been actually using as a finisher for a little while.
Oh, okay. You told me something a couple of months ago about the name Irish Curse. Would you care to share that? The actual origin of the phrase Irish Curse?
I mean, I was always, you know, given the impression that was a tiny dick joke, basically.
A tiny dick?
So.
Like,
you know.
I thought it was you. Maybe I'm mistaken. What I thought that I had heard was about the Irish Curse, is that the Irish Curse actually is when you fucking drink too much, and then you can't rise to the occasion when you're in the bedroom with a female.
No, that's whiskey dick. That's different.
Whiskey dick. Yeah, no, I was under the impression that's what they were calling the Irish Curse, and that's why I was like,
I don't know exactly.
Like, wait, that's what they named that backbreaker after? Just because it makes your fucking back go limp?
It does seem to be something not flattering relating to the penis, though. That's almost certain.
Yeah. I guess Sheamus is just very dick-oriented. just like Mr. Shrimply Pibbles said. I wish
Sheamus
that
being a Rick and Morty fan, it bounced out.
Yeah, it's true. And I just got an email which fucking shouted wubba lubba dub dub in my ear. Because why not? I kind of wish that they would have given Apollo a legitimate win in this match, because I don't know if you remember how it happened, but what they did was the white noise off the second rope, and they give him a close 2 count. And
and then he did a roll up or something.
Yeah, Sheamus sits up and bitches, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And then just Apollo grabs his shoulders, pins him down to the mat, and gets the 3 count. I mean, there's probably a purpose behind it, because I mean, obviously they didn't try to further the angle on Raw, but that's a perfect opportunity for someone to say, yeah, well, you didn't beat me legitimately. Like, if you want to keep this shit going, we can. But, you know, make sure that when you beat me, you actually beat me instead of just using some cheap shit to beat me. So.
Yeah, I mean, I get you, but it was pretty much just, you know, he capitalized on a mistake there. It's not like he cheated or anything, so.
Yeah.
Called a legitimate enough victory.
I don't know. I see where you're coming from, that like, but it doesn't quite seem very face-like to just capitalize on a mistake and be like, oh, look at his ring awareness, he's awesome. It just seems like they have to have a little bit more dignity than to say like, oh, I have ring awareness, so I'm just gonna take this pin now. They would probably want a face to say, you know, I see that he's a little exposed, but I mean, this ain't right. I don't know, maybe
I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah, I guess.
And I mean, also, remember, this was pretty much started by Sheamus, like, bro kicking him during an interview, so it's not like he was exactly built around honor to begin with.
Yeah, I can't really argue that one. Like, yeah, so after that, then they started up AJ Styles and John Cena. If you remember, we're at that point we were starting to feel like the pay-per-view was running a little short on time, and by the end of the night, it turned out that we were right. That was an interesting match. Like, the crowd was completely split down the middle at the start of the match, which I guess you could have expected.
Right.
I mean, you knew that AJ was going to be fucking crazy popular. They tried to make him a dick heel. You know, just like I said during his feud with Roman, they need to define him a little bit better. I understand that they turned him heel before the match started, but they turned him heel against John Cena, who is not, you know, one of the favorites in the company.
Well, see, but the way they're using AJ, it's almost like it kind of makes you think of, like, say, like when Bret Hart was like a bad guy in America, but he was a good guy everywhere else. And you know, hear me out on this one, because it's like AJ's a bad guy, but he's a bad guy against like a lot of the good guys that parts of the crowd dislike, like the older males or whatever. I mean, you know, so far Cena and Reigns. So it's like he's almost doing a thing where he's a bad guy to like the women and kids, but he's a good guy to, you know, that older internet wrestling crowd, because he's like, you know, going against John Cena and Roman Reigns and stuff like that.
And I mean, he does seem to like, he seems to cater to a very specific section of the wrestling crowd that seems to be growing, by the way. But
yeah,
I guess it's basically the smart mark crowd, because, you know, he comes out and he says things like, you know, people like you bury guys like me, and the casual wrestling fan doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Like, what do you mean you bury me? Like, what does that mean? During the match, fucking Cena's going for all of his normal spots, like the thing with the shoulder tackles, and after he lands the first shoulder tackle, AJ gets up and just Pele kicks the shit out of him. And everybody's like, yeah, he's not going for the same bullshit. He's something different. I guess that's why they like him, because he's just not going for the normal stuff. Is that you in the fucking tank? Yo,
Yeah, it is. Am I doing
your
it
tank
right?
is at you're fucking half health. You're destroying yourself. What are you doing? Wait, are you? No, they're fucking launching artillery, aren't they?
I think so. Something was fucking me up faster than I could do anything.
Yeah, yeah, they definitely have artillery turrets up. I apologize. I blamed you for that one. We gotta set up. Yeah, we gotta set up
Yeah, I can't even
cannons.
find this place to build.
Yeah, oh, shit. This is gonna be rough for a little bit. I have to fucking, like... Yeah, let me start fucking up this gun, so hopefully we could do something with that. Jesus. I'm doing fucking piss damage to this thing, so... Oh, are you doing something?
I set up artillery.
Oh, sweet. Alright, cool.
Okay, take it before they do.
Oh no, I'm on this gun right here, so you can... Oh, they don't take it. It's just, they have stuff that's set up on the map. Once you destroy it, they don't set up again. I think... Yeah, I'm clear on all these guys. Okay. Let me get this upgraded. Do you want to build on that land, or should I?
Sure.
What the fuck?
Get that last guy.
Oh, he was in the range of the cannon. I took care of him. It's one of those rocket assholes. Yeah, so up to that point in the night, those guys definitely had the strongest reaction. What else? You know, it needs to be noted that, and I know you agree with me because we've talked about this a million times before, but Cena's ability to adapt to the style of whoever he's wrestling is fucking uncanny. And he's not the youngest guy around anymore, but he still manages to keep up with whoever it is that he's wrestling. It doesn't matter if he's wrestling Kevin Owens or Cesaro, Sami Zayn, or AJ Styles, who, by the way, almost 40, still as good as fucking like when we first became aware of him. And that's another really impressive thing. So these are two guys that are like fucking absolute veterans. And it showed when they got into the ring. The match wasn't like the best thing I've ever seen. You know, I mean, his matches against Owens and Zayn, there's like almost no comparison, but...
Well, the big difference though is that, I mean, you know, quite obviously by the end of the match you see that they're setting up, this is a, you know, long-term thing. There's going to be a couple of matches, so, you know, they gave... You know, that's also the intelligent way to do things, where they gave fans enough to want to see more, but left, you know, kind of held back that they have someplace to go.
Yeah. I'm sure you remember. Let me see. At one point, Cena... Oh, God. This fucking thing is getting destroyed. I'm sure you remember at one point Cena goes for an attitude adjustment on... on AJ, and AJ fucking flips out of it and lands on his feet, and Cena gets in his face and starts talking shit right away, and AJ just forearms the shit out of him, and Cena stood there for a second and then fell backward against the ropes like, whoa, that hurt. I don't know, that was kind of funny to me.
When he did that knock-kneed selling.
Yeah. Yeah, I have always been a fan of that, so it just looks like it transcends the business, and it just looks like the person is actually in pain, like, ah, fuck, I wish that didn't happen. Did you happen to catch when he fucking went for that, he did a back body drop to AJ Styles, and I don't know what happened. I guess AJ Styles over-rotated, and he just gave himself a really fucking weird landing.
Oh, yeah.
He landed, like, sort of on his tailbone, and he fucking gave, like, a bounce, and then fucking landed, like, for good. It's just... strange to see that as someone like AJ Styles, who basically his job was to flip for, I don't know, 20 years. just a strange thing
not
to.
Not quite that long, but.
Are you sure? Well, okay,
I mean,
no, not 96,
no.
not that early, but we're coming up on his 20-year anniversary. He probably started somewhere around 98 or 99, right?
Nah, about 2000, I think.
Well, actually,
yeah, I guess maybe 99.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Because he was in WCW.
Oh yeah, that's true. Fuck, and by then, I mean, was he like fresh out the gate at that point?
He hadn't been wrestling too long.
Okay. So yeah, 98 or 99 probably sounds about accurate. Yeah, that's surprising even to me, because I knew that he wrestled in WCW, but I never put two and two together and said, hey, that means that he's been around for a long fucking time. I'm sure you, oh, fuck. Well, Cobra Commander is dead, and he's yelling for you to retreat. I don't know if you, care to do that. I'm sure you caught that at one point, AJ goes for a suicide dive. And John Cena just fucking walks away from it, like, the hell with this. Just looked like he took a page right out of Randy Orton's book, like, hey, this actually was kind of fun.
Yeah, the difference is Randy Orton's supposed to catch them.
Yeah, it's true. But, you know, I think this whole thing is doing a lot of good for AJ Styles. They did a really good job of making him look like just a slippery little fuck in that match. And, you know, they basically built the match around whenever Cena, like, begins to mount any kind of offense, it just gets broken up and intercepted by AJ, which is exactly what I was saying before. That he seemed to be catering to the smart mark crowd. You know, there was one point where he went for the 5-knuckle shuffle. He did the whole fucking thing where he got in his face and did the you can't see me. I can't remember if AJ kicked him from there or if he stood up when when Cena ran the ropes and fucking gave him another enziguri. But either way, you know, it's it all serves the same purpose. Cena got kicked in the head for trying to do one of his moves. So, like, every time he tried to do anything that he normally does, they had AJ like, yep, I'm a step ahead of you, I know what you're gonna do, and fuck you, you're not doing it. So I think they kept AJ looking really strong on that end, just because he looks like he's adapting to the style of whoever he's wrestling, and it's gonna make him look like someone that can be taken seriously to be in the world title picture. Because I mean, Reigns never really fit into that picture. So to try and use Reigns to fit someone new into the picture just wasn't a good look. But now that you have someone who's like a fucking, what is he, a 13, 14-time world champion, now it's starting to mean something. If, like I say, if you disagree, you know, speak up. But
no, I think that's pretty accurate there.
They did a really good job at one point in the match where fucking AJ's about to go for the phenomenal forearm, and while he's standing on the rope, Cena runs up to him and he grabs him for the attitude adjustment, goes for it, and fucking AJ lands on his feet, and then brings him down and curls up his leg for the, what do they call that move, the calf crusher?
Yeah.
It was, I mean, the entire thing was a very clean transition, so it all looked really cool. It was, like I say, just a good set of spots all roped together. And I'm sure you noticed that's when Cena started selling the damage to his knees, which, like you pointed out, I mean, all credit in the world for his selling ability. That like some people like I say, the casual wrestling fans might not ever have been able to notice. Like you pointed out that that when he was climbing up to the top rope to get power bombed by AJ, that he fucking sort of climbed up with the one leg and then was just sort of dragging the other leg behind it.
Right.
That's a really subtle thing, and that's crazy attention to detail that some people will never notice. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You saw when AJ did the I can't remember if it was off the top rope. I feel like it might have been a springboard one, but he did a 450 into the ring. And while he was flipping, Cena put his knees up. And God, did that look like it
a rough landing.
It really looked like it sucked, but AJ didn't I'm not saying that he didn't sell it, because I don't think he really needed to sell it. I'm sure that shit was uncomfortable enough that he's like, no, the actual pain will take care of the selling on that one. But that was really cool looking. I think, you know, everybody always complains about how strongly Cena is booked, but this match is the reason that Cena is booked so strongly, because he just looks like this Superman that's impossible for anybody to beat, but he's not impossible for people to beat. It is possible for people to beat him, and that's why when someone finally does beat him, it's taken very seriously. And now AJ has a new feather in his cap because he managed to beat John Cena, and people are like, holy shit, he actually could be considered a world title contender because he beat John Cena.
Right.
Which is good because, I mean, you know, he had a couple of feuds already. Was it him and Jericho at WrestleMania? I can't remember.
Yeah.
And Jericho won, right?
At WrestleMania, but he had lost a lot of the lead-up matches, and then he got pinned the next night on Raw by AJ in like that four-way match.
I'm not clear on what they were going for by having him lose at WrestleMania. Is it just because he was the new guy, like this is his first WrestleMania?
I don't know exactly what the logic was there.
Yeah, I mean, he could have lost any other match. He could have lost to Jericho on Raw to make it look like he might have a challenger in front of him at WrestleMania, but for some reason they made him lose at WrestleMania, and that was probably a little detrimental to his character. People might have looked at him like...
I think a lot of people forgot about it.
Yeah. But I mean, you know, there might have been some that were like, wait, so he loses to Jericho at WrestleMania, and now we expect him to beat Roman Reigns for the world title? But any damage that was done, which, like you said, a lot of people forgot about it, so it probably wasn't even a big thing, but I say that any damage that was done by that probably was invalidated by, or fucking repaired anyway, by a win over Cena. Even if it wasn't a clean one, because you remember that the win was...
Right.
The referee gets knocked out and the Bullet Club gets involved. Oh shit, I think I just ran over one of our boys. Never mind. No, he's good. He knocks out the referee while he's fucking struggling with the attitude adjustment, and then the Bullet Club runs out and gives that finisher, which, by the way, they're another tag team that needs another tag finisher, because that one's just goofy looking, doesn't really, I don't even know what the hell it is.
The Magic Killer.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, so they got involved, and it was kind of funny that, like, right after they hit that move, they put AJ on top of him for the pin, And I was like, well, and now this is the part where Cena kicks out. And then the referee counted 3, and I was like, oh, okay, never mind, I guess not. It just, no, there's nothing wrong with the ending. It's just not common for a match to end like that. Especially not a Cena one. Usually when you got Cena like that, you know, he'll fucking overcome the odds and kick out at that point. But because he was not going to overcome the odds, I guess that was as good an ending as any. Especially because it built up more the feud between not only him and AJ, but him and the entire club. Anyway, so after that was the actual Money in the Bank match. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Jericho, Cesaro, Del Rio, and Dean Ambrose. What did you think of that match?
I liked it. It wasn't the best Money in the Bank match.
Yeah,
but I always enjoy those. Cesaro looked like a monster in this one.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was definitely one of the things that's, I mean, it seems like it's gotta be getting harder and harder for them to ignore Cesaro's popularity.
Yeah, well, he might benefit a lot from the brand split.
Yeah. I don't know, like, really?
Because he deserves it.
Yeah. I mean, really, his only drawbacks are that he's a little injury prone, and his promos...
I wouldn't say he's injury prone. He had an injury at a bad time, but other than that, I mean, he's been pretty healthy.
Yeah. Yeah, good point. And his promos, I don't like listening to him talk. It's just not great for him. But other than that, he's extremely popular. He's great in the ring. Everything he does looks clean. And you know, it's also important to note, which I think is one reason that Cena was always such, like, basically that Cena was pretty much the apple of their eye, is because he had such, like, a squeaky clean reputation backstage and just in the public eye in general. He was never a troublemaker or anything like that. He never got into trouble outside the ring. He never like got into fights or anything like that. And Cesaro seems the same way. Just a good guy that does what he's got to do and keeps himself out of trouble. And they need stuff like that, because even someone like Roman Reigns gets busted for a wellness violation. I don't know if you caught it when, like, right at the start of the match. As soon as the match started, fucking Sami and Owens start brawling, as they will do anywhere that they are together. And the crowd starts chanting Olay. And I mean, Dean Ambrose is right fucking there. But they did not care. They just went straight to Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. And that was really cool. Yeah, I guess, I don't know, maybe you wouldn't expect that out of Vegas for some reason. But it was kind of cool to see them be that into the feud, even though someone who's, like, way more popular is right in front of their faces. Did you catch the spot where Sammy's got the ladder and he's trying to like pick it up and put it into the ring, and Owens picks it up from the other end, and he pushes Zayn into the ring against the ladder. And then he fucking, the ladder sort of falls to the floor at like a 45-degree angle, and Owens backs up and starts running towards the ladder. And then he stops right before he gets to the ladder and runs around it and fucking super kicks him. It's just like, and that's why Kevin Owens is pretty much just the heel of the century, because he can get people excited for things that it looks like he's going to do, and that people know he can do, because he has done them. Like, he's done awesome shit, and that's why they know that, like, they have to pay attention during his match, because this might be one of those matches where he does some awesome shit, but then usually he just messes with them, and he's like, nah, I'm just kidding, I'm a dick.
Yeah.
That's what makes him such an excellent heel, and obviously his work on the microphone is just perfect. He's very good at toying with people's emotions like that. It's good to see Del Rio back in the ring. Yeah, I mean he was even popular tonight. Like I say, I keep saying tonight because, like I say, I just watched the show again. So, but yeah, he was really popular. He was getting good reactions. I don't know if you caught that.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, there was one point that he did that that spin his finger thing in the ring, and people are like, yeah, look at that, it's Del Rio. It's good to know that he slapped the shit out of a racist, and and he got his job back eventually, because he shouldn't have been let go for it in the first place. But it's just good to see that they backpedaled on the mistake, and they said he's a talented guy, not the most interesting in the world, but he didn't deserve that kind of treatment, and we should, see what he's up to. And they did, and they got him back, so it was all good.
Say this much, though, it didn't take them long to make him boring again, though.
Yeah, that's true. Like, League of Nations, that didn't happen. League of Nations did not happen. I'm not quite sure what's up to him. He seems to not know how to handle a ladder for some weird reason. At 2 points during the match, you just see him like completely fumbling around with the ladder. Man, this is a fucking confusing map to deal with.
It is.
Like, I'm trying to figure out where the entrances to the toy box are, and I'm kind of sure. Oh God, I almost fucking just kamikaze this thing. What the hell is this, and why won't it crash? Get the hell out of my airspace.
It's just like a drop ship.
Oh, okay.
Oh wow, their infantry is fucking wrecking me.
Yeah.
I mean, the artillery rather, not infantry.
Oh, okay. Let me see if I can spot. Shit, I can't spot it. Where is it from where you are? Wait, is it these two tanks you're talking about? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fuck. These things are about to... Oh, I lost my helicopter, though. Shit, I gotta upgrade this thing. Fuck. Yeah, but I don't know if you caught this. There's one point where you remember where, like, the way they had the ladders set up at the end of the match, where it was the one in the middle of the ring,
rolling.
And yeah. When Del Rio's trying to set up that positioning for the ladder, he's taking so long.
Yeah, he couldn't quite get his to stay.
He's taking so long to set it up that fucking JBL goes, what the hell is he doing? JBL's maybe not the greatest person to have on commentary. He makes a mistake every once in a while. I'm sure you remember during a Raw a couple of weeks ago, they were doing a backstage segment, and he actually was like making comments on the segment while it was still going on. And I don't know, maybe it was like him trying to express curiosity, like, I don't understand, what is Del Rio actually doing? But if it was like him trying to like be mean about Del Rio, like, what the hell is he doing? Then, I don't know, maybe that kind of disrespect ain't really right. But like I say, I don't know if he meant it that way. I just thought it was kind of funny anyway. You saw the Michinoku driver that Zayn gave Owens onto the... What the fuck with that? And...
You used the Homer Simpson spinal cylinder there.
I think you caught that, like, as soon as that happened, we were like, holy shit. And then the crowd starts chanting, holy shit. And then if you looked at the look on Sami Zayn's face, it pretty much expressed the words, holy shit. Like, I didn't mean to kill him.
Yeah, it catches me off guard when I see things that are stupider than I would expect from an indie show.
Yeah. I mean, that was really something. That had to fucking hurt. Like, there's pretty much no two ways about that. That was probably...
No.
That's just a dumb spot to take. God bless you, Kevin Owens, for destroying your future for our amazement.
That's definitely just donating your body at that point.
Yeah. But, I mean... You know, knowing Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, that's what they're going to do. Daniel Bryan already donated his body to the business, and they seem interested in doing much the same thing. That's what's good about being alive in this time, is that the people that are passionate about wrestling are really fucking passionate about wrestling. And they will kill themselves to make a good match.
It's kind of the downside, though, is like, enjoy them while they're here.
Yeah. Like, you like, the better ones that you gotta be like, you ought to slow down, because we want to be enjoying you 15 years from now. The way we're still enjoying John Cena. I liked the part of the match where they had I'm sorry, not all 4 people, but they had 4 people climbing the same ladder.
Oh, yeah.
And they were all fucking, like, you know, throwing strikes at each other and intermittently reaching for the belt and everything like that. It was kind of interesting. And then they had Cesaro and Del Rio. Or, well, it was just Cesaro that set up his own ladder next to the thing. Like, fuck you, I'll climb my own ladder. You guys are stupid. And then Del Rio climbed up on the other side, and he started brawling with Cesaro, so that they were all fighting on ladders. And then someone on the 4-person ladder reached over and kicked over Cesaro's ladder. And Cesaro had like an okay landing. I think he crotched himself properly on the top rope. But you remember Del Rio's landing was a little fucked up. That he basically landed like with his feet flush on the ropes.
Oh yeah, the accidental springboard.
Yeah, and then he fell down backwards. I think he might have hit his back really hard on the ladder. And that was the last that we saw of Del Rio in that match. You saw like medical staff run up to him after after he rolled outside, because he did roll outside right after that spot happened. And the referees are talking to him. And like I say, from that point forward, you did not see him in the match anymore. So I had heard that he was actually hurt after that match, and that definitely seems to corroborate that story.
Well, you know, on the subject of springboards in that match, How awesome was Cesaro's where he got knocked off the ladder onto the second rope with the rebound European uppercut.
Oh man, Cesaro he really is something to watch. That springboard European uppercut was fucking awesome.
Like I say, and I mean, you know, knowing him when he was, you know, still young and early in his career, I mean, I've seen him just work out in a ring before shows and stuff like that. He's capable of doing a lot of things that man that size should have no business doing.
Yeah.
Like things that I haven't seen cruiserweights replicate rather.
That's really cool.
I saw him do a springboard into like a pretty much Jody Fleisch's Phoenix DDT, but he landed in a leg drop.
Whoa.
So it's like basically like a springboard and then turning on the ropes and then twisting in the air and coming down with a leg drop. It was ridiculous.
What the fuck? And how come he doesn't do shit like that in his matches?
Well, you know, I'm sure he's told not to do everything he can do.
Yeah, I guess. That's a shame. Just some people you need to just let off the leash and say, you know, be you and try and get over that way. Did you catch toward the end of the match, like after the brawling was done on the crazy ladder setup? Fucking Owens and Zayn were standing next to one of the ladders that were propped up. We're probably gonna lose that because I can't figure out how to. Oh wait, that dude drove off the map. What the fuck was that about? I just watched that. Oh wait, no, he didn't. He drove into the toy box. I don't know where the hell he went. Yeah, and fucking. So they're standing next to one of the ladders that are propped up, and Owens just power bombs the shit out of Sami Zayn onto that ladder. Yeah. And the only reasoning that you could come up with is because fuck you, that's why. Like, do you remember what you did to me onto a fucking ladder that was on its side before, you piece of shit? So yeah. Poor Sammy. He kind of had that one coming. And of course, I'm sure you remember, since it was a pretty pivotal moment in the night, that Ambrose eventually climbed up the ladder and stole the briefcase.
Right.
Ugh. Well, at least it was a popular decision. The crowd was very into that, so I guess what more could you ask for? They're finally getting what they wanted, right? Rusev and Titus O'Neil was the match that followed that one. That match that I
remember nothing about this match.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of funny that everybody forgot that this match was going to happen, and then when it happened, they're like, "Oh, I guess this is happening." And then after it was over, they pretty much forgot it happened, just like you did. So having
the only thing I remember is one of Titus's sons looking like Leo Rush. That's all I remember.
Since I watched the entire show again tonight, I can tell you everything that you missed was nothing. You missed nothing. Everybody forgot about this match.
I didn't miss it. I saw it.
No. When I say miss, I mean like that you just forgot what happened. Yeah. Like missing from your memory. Yeah, you're not missing out on anything by not remembering that match. It was not a memorable match. Everybody forgot that the match was going to happen, and you kind of wish that whoever was in charge of setting up the show forgot about it too. It was kind of unnecessary. Titus lost all of his momentum from what happened. There's a lot of guys breaking in there. Titus lost all of his momentum, like all of it. So I don't know if this was supposed to be an attempt to try and get him over, but it didn't work. He's pretty much done, and especially with Darren Young being involved with the Bob Backlund angle, he seems like he might eventually land on his feet. But Titus O'Neil, it doesn't seem like he has any more room to grow. I think he's hit his potential already, unfortunately, and that, yeah, he might just want to get comfortable or try to find work elsewhere, because I don't think that he can go anywhere else in the company, as sad as that is. Rusev showed some fun stuff in that match, though. So, the match wasn't a total bust. He broke out some of his fun old NXT stuff, like the spinning heel kick that originally made me like him. He did a rolling senton while he was running, and a lot of kicks. I don't know if you caught it. There was one point that they showed they showed a slow motion replay of like Titus was down on one knee and Rusev walked up to him and he grabbed the side of his head and fucking just buried a knee into his ribs. And like right away the look on Titus's face, like, oh, that fucking sucked. Yeah, it probably did. Rusev actually got me interested in seeing some of his matches again, because I forgot about how fun he could be, and I'm sure. Well, did you forget how fun he could be, or did you just never see how fun he could be?
No, I liked him, other than that endless Ziggler feud.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah, that, and the whole thing was pointless because then the woman that he was trying to make jealous got engaged to him. So, womp womp.
That's how it goes.
Yeah. Well, hey, at least Ziggler fucked her before she got engaged.
I heard somewhere that he wasn't supposed to say that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who knows? Probably it was just a thing that like, you know, I mean, they really are still dating, so don't say anything that's gonna make him uncomfortable or anything. And he goes out and says some shit like that. Like what? Why? Did that make him uncomfortable? Did Rusev abandon his awesome new version of the Accolade, that like the fucking rear naked Accolade or whatever?
I remember that one, really.
Oh, I'm sure you do. The one that he did to Kalisto at Extreme Rules.
Oh, that thing, yeah. Well, that was just because Kalisto has that freaky flexibility that he could do things like that. No, that was... I can't imagine he was ever expecting anyone else to get involved in something like that.
I think he did do that to somebody else, the next night. I can't remember who it was against, though. The ending to that match, Rusev is the winner. Nobody is surprised by that fact. Nobody cares. I'm sure you remember that Rusev went out to the ringside to talk shit to Rusev's kids.
Yes.
That seemed kind of pointless. He was like, hey, your dad's a loser, and fucking one of the kids gives him a knife edge chop that he no-sells, and then just walks away and says, Happy Father's Day, everybody! Like, what? Anyway. And then I don't know, do we call it the main event? Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns?
The last announced match?
Yeah, let's go with that. Yeah, let's call it the main event, because it is technically the main event of the show. How'd you feel about that one?
I don't remember too much other than that really badass spear counter with the pedigree. I don't know how that wasn't the end of the match, especially considering that he won the match anyway.
Yeah.
But, anyway, it wasn't bad, I just... I can't remember too much about it. I mean, Reigns is what he is at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a shame. They opened up the match with the crowd chanting "You can't wrestle" at Roman Reigns. You know, he's starting to feel like the new John Cena, minus like
Right.
8 years of build-up and the ability to speak without looking like he's gonna start crying. That's definitely something that he could work on, and his tater tots. He's a really hard worker that people have given up on for some sad reason. I mean, I feel like his promos have gotten better since, I'm sure you remember him trying to speak at TLC 2014. We watched the video a couple of nights ago, and
yeah, it's not on the network version anymore.
Oh, yeah, they did cut it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we looked through the event. It wasn't there.
Yeah, I felt for him. That shit was painful. It really was. Are we still losing fucking to the toy box? Wait, how many fucking?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay, no, okay. I heard the siren go off, and I thought, yeah. Look, I'm getting tired. Yeah, it's, you know, so here's basically the unfortunate thing is I believe it was 2014. I'm pretty sure that was Daniel Bryan's final Royal Rumble. Or was it 15? No, it was 14, right? I'm pretty sure by 15
he was, because he was back briefly in 15, but I can't remember if he was in the Royal Rumble. He might have been. Yeah, think.
15.
Yeah, I think that's when they were. Yeah, I think that's when they were like pushing Bray hard.
Yeah, and of course that
Royal Rumble.
I'm fucking duh, because this is the one that Bray won, that Roman won, right?
No. Yes.
Yeah. So here's the unfortunate thing is that Daniel Bryan is considered a favorite to win this Royal Rumble. But it was just by like fans. It was I guess
Right.
It was never really a strong consideration by the office because
it was just what the fans wanted to happen.
Yeah. And that was why
if there was ever
like,
any indication that they were going to do.
Yeah, I have a feeling at that point they were a little concerned about his health.
Yeah.
So they didn't want to give him the nod. They probably should have sent him to like the final four in that Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Although I don't know if that would have made things better or worse considering what I'm trying to get at. But so he gets eliminated like in the middle of the match with really no fanfare. And
right.
I mean, as far as I remember, Roman wasn't even involved in the match when that shit happened. So Daniel Bryan loses, and everybody is just like, they're frustrated and they're a little crushed because they were hoping to see him go on. Roman eventually comes up and he gets into the final four. He starts eliminating people. He makes the final elimination. And then you remember Rusev is, what was he, hiding under the ring or something? He runs in from behind. Oh, yeah. And everybody's like, holy shit, we still have a chance. We shouldn't have ever thought that, because what, Rusev is going to go to WrestleMania and fight Brock Lesnar for the world? Give me a fucking break. It was pretty obvious from the start what was going to happen. So he finally gets the upper hand on Rusev, eliminates him, and wins the Royal Rumble, and goes on to fight Lesnar at WrestleMania, which wasn't a bad match. Really wasn't.
No.
But because everybody had it set in their minds that Daniel Bryan was going to be the winner of this thing, when Roman won, they held it against him hard. They were like, how dare you win this match when Daniel Bryan was supposed to win, even though Daniel Bryan wasn't supposed to win. And it just feels like that's the thing that they can't let go of, is that they wanted Daniel Bryan to win, and they're like, no, you won, so fuck you. You know what I mean? It's kind of unfair. Yeah. I don't know how popular he would be if Daniel Bryan were not involved with that match or whatever, but it seems like he still catches a lot of shit for that because of it, and people don't remember. They don't remember that that's the reason. They just know that they don't like him, and they're sticking to it. Yeah. It's just like, ask anybody now why they don't like John Cena. I don't know. I just haven't liked him for as long as I can remember. Okay, whatever. That's a good reason. Like, you know, because it's the way it's always been is not a good reason to keep doing something, necessarily. Like, fucking, you know, at one point, like, slavery. Let's keep doing it because it's the way it's always been. Like, no...
I haven't mentioned that in a while.
That is true. You have not mentioned slavery in a while. That's good, because it hasn't really applied to anything we were talking about in a while. But yeah, so it's just sad that Roman is he's working incredibly hard, and especially in this match, he introduced a lot of new moves. He, you know, at one point during the match, he did the Splash Mountain. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, that was pretty cool. And
it was pretty cool.
He has that nice deadlift power bomb.
Oh yeah, I definitely took note of that. That thing is awesome, and he's done it a couple of times since. And like, even the sit out just looks really fucking cool. I'm proud of him. Yeah, like, I know Cena got his ass kicked when he was sort of falling off in popularity. Do you think it was ever quite this bad though?
No. I think Cena had a lot more goodwill because he was kind of built up more before, you know, he became like the top guy. And the fans were ready for it.
Yeah.
Reigns was like, I don't know, it didn't really simmer long enough, and also, like you said, there were probably other guys that were more popular, and so, you know, like you said, I think Roman gets hit with the bitterness of, well, you should have been Bryan.
Yeah, I mean, even though it's not fair to put that blame on him, because this is everybody, like, this is what everybody is working for, to get to the world title eventually. And some of them just aren't going to make it, but Roman Reigns was offered an opportunity, and they said, we want to try and make you a top guy. Like, do you want to try and do this? What's he going to do, say no? Say, no, it's not fair. Right. There's people who are in line before me. I don't want to be rude and take it before. Get the fuck out of here. That's what everybody is working for. Wrestling is a cutthroat business, and he was offered the opportunity. He'd be a fool not to take it. It's their fault for maybe giving him the opportunity before he was probably ready, but you can't hold it against him for saying, yes, I am ready for this, even though he probably wasn't. There's a lot of things in life that, you know, they get put in front of you, and you could say, I'm not ready, because you actually feel like you're not ready, but there's much more reward to just jumping in with both feet and saying, I'm not really ready, but I think I can figure it out in time to actually make it work. Anyway, enough with the life lessons. Let's get back to wrestling. I think they both played really good roles in the match, as far as like the actual psychology and like the acting of the match went. You know, because Reigns was playing someone who was defending his title, but he's also playing someone who is like still trying to recover from betrayal from so many years ago. Well, what, a year and a half, 2 years ago. He's still trying to recover from this betrayal. He's like, this person used to be my fucking brother, and he stabbed me in the back, and I don't know what's up with that. So, like, he's letting out all this frustration, and like he's telling the story that he fucking hates this person because he used to really care about him, but now he just turned his back on him for some reason. And Rollins is just playing the part of this sociopath who's like, yeah, I know what I did. I don't care. I'd fucking do it again because I want that damn world title. And he's just in the match fighting for the world title. He's not fighting like this is someone that used to be his brother. He's just like, whatever. It's just a guy that's the champion, and I want to be the champion, so fuck him. So it told a good story because Reigns is the one that's taking this match personally, and Rollins is the one who's like, I don't really care about the personal thing. I'm just trying to win my title here.
Right.
So it was a good story, but they had very good chemistry together. They put on a good match. It really was a good match. It was nice and long, not too long. Did you catch that at one point Rollins hit a frog splash on Reigns that hit so fucking hard?
Oh yeah, he bounced off of him.
He bounced off of him and then went for the pin and got the 2 count. And after Reigns gets his shoulder up, you can hear Reigns going like fucking, oh, like he's just fucking gasping. That shit was agonizing for him. You could absolutely tell. He's gasping his ass off. It was a pretty good match. The crowd reactions were very strong. And Rollins gets his win, and then something else happened.
Yeah, then we get Ambrose with possibly the shortest, cash-in ever from the time winning it.
Yep.
Can't remember. Has anyone else cashed it in the night they won it? Actually, you know what? I think Kane did. I think Kane cashed in on Rey Mysterio the night he won it, actually. Okay.
That's an interesting question. I'll have to check into that. Fuck. I'm gonna have to upgrade this thing before I start attacking that one. Yeah, no, it was a short cash in. A really fucking short match. I mean, like, I'm sure you remember when Ziggler cashed in on Del Rio.
Right.
That was, I'm not gonna say that was a long match. It was not a long match, but
right, there was actually a couple of sequences to it, though.
There was some substance to the match. It wasn't just fucking Ambrose slides in, the bell rings, and he hits the fucking dirty deeds and is the new world champion. It's things like that, and it's like, from the Money in the Bank is responsible for that. That kind of makes a title reign look weak, because it just starts off where a person is already like hurt, and then you just fucking walk in, do one move, and now they're the champion, and you're like, but well, why would a face do that? You know what I mean?
That's what I was gonna say. It doesn't really feel like a good guy thing to do. But
yeah.
I mean, I guess Seth is kind of like that bastard that's okay,
Yeah, I think it was the next night on Raw that Rollins is complaining about this cheap cash in, and Ambrose goes, "Yeah, doesn't feel so good, does it?" But as forgetting about like affiliations, it just doesn't make someone seem like a person that's deserving of a world title reign if they win the title in that fashion. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you want someone that you're gonna have as your world champion. You want them to start off looking really strong. Like, yeah, that person definitely earned the fucking world title. Not this person won some stupid briefcase and now he can walk into the ring like when a person is half dead and just take the title. Just seems like you want to start them off stronger than that. So yeah, there really wasn't much to that match. He ran out and he hit Rollins with the briefcase, went outside, cashed in, got back into the ring and did the dirty deeds, and yeah, new world champion. And then he just celebrates for like 10 minutes. So yeah, so overall you felt like it was an okay show, bounced around in terms of quality. Yeah, I guess I have to agree with that assessment. And yeah, I guess there's nothing else really to talk about with that. I mean, that was the end of the show, so what else is there?
Yeah.
You looking forward to that WrestleMania cast next week?
Oh man, I forgot about that one.
Well,
yeah,
hey,
I would really hate to have watched that show for nothing.
Yeah. Oh, it's at least the hard part is out of the way, right? I don't know what the hell is going on, but there is just a tank spinning circles in front of me.
Jesus Christ, looks like Normandy Beach down here.
All right then. So, Eric, it was a pleasure having you on PlagueCast, and I hope to have you back next week for WrestleMania. And it looks like we have a pretty stacked lineup next week. Aries will be joining us. Freakatron was not feeling well tonight, so he was not joining us tonight, but he should be on for WrestleMania next week. I'm pretty sure Joe will have watched it by then. It's going to be a busy night. So, yes, thank you again for your participation, and thank you everybody else for watching.
Thank you for having me, Tim. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah, yes, thank you.
Fuck Ticketmaster and slavery.
Fuck Ticketmaster and fuck slavery. I agree.